And now the game enters a phase where growth is no longer your biggest challenge. Protection becomes the priority because once you start gaining traction, once your content begins to reach more people consistently, you are no longer invisible. You are now part of a competitive space where thousands of creators are trying to capture the same attention, the same audience, the same opportunities. And this is where many growing creators make a critical mistake. They focus only on expansion but ignore stability, and without stability, even strong growth can collapse faster than it was built. At this level, you begin to notice something subtle but powerful. Your reach is no longer just influenced by what you do right, but also by what you might be doing wrong, without realizing it. Because Instagram's system is not only designed to reward positive signals, it is also designed to limit accounts that show inconsistent, spam-like, or unnatural behavior. And these limitations often happen quietly, without warning, making it even more dangerous for those who are unaware. Now imagine this situation. You are posting regularly, your content quality is improving, but suddenly your reach drops, your engagement slows down, and nothing seems to work the way it did before. And this moment creates confusion, frustration, and doubt. But the truth behind it is often hidden in small actions. Overusing hashtags, repeating the same captions, engaging in unnatural follow-unfollow behavior, or even interacting too aggressively in a short period of time. Because from the system's perspective, behavior matters as much as content, and when your actions start to look automated, repetitive, or unnatural, your account may quietly lose trust, and once trust is reduced, your content distribution is affected, not permanently, but enough to slow your growth significantly. This is why awareness becomes even more critical at this stage, because protecting your account means maintaining natural behavior, balanced engagement, and authentic interaction. It means avoiding shortcuts that promise quick growth but damage long-term performance. It means staying within the boundaries of what the platform considers genuine activity. And this is where discipline evolves into control. Because now you are not just focused on what to do. You are equally focused on what not to do. You avoid spammy tactics. You avoid copying content without adding value. You avoid chasing every trend without understanding its relevance to your niche. And this selective approach strengthens your account's position over time. Now let's talk about content saturation, because as you grow, your audience becomes more familiar with your style, your tone, your ideas, and while familiarity builds trust, too much repetition without variation can lead to boredom, and boredom reduces engagement, even if your content quality remains high. So the challenge becomes evolution without losing identity. You need to introduce freshness into your content, new angles, new storytelling methods, new ways of presenting the same core idea, because this keeps your audience engaged while maintaining your consistency, and this balance is what keeps your growth stable instead of declining. Now consider the role of competition, because at higher levels, you are no longer competing with beginners. You are surrounded by creators who understand the system, who produce high-quality content, who are consistent and strategic, and this environment raises the standard. And this is where your uniqueness becomes your strongest asset. Because while strategies can be learned, identity cannot be copied easily. Your perspective, your delivery, your voice, these are things that differentiate you, and when you focus on strengthening these elements, you create a position that is difficult to replace. Now we move into something deeper, audience trust. At this stage, your audience is not just watching your content. They are forming opinions about you, they are deciding whether you are consistent, reliable, and worth following long-term. And this trust is fragile. It can be built slowly but lost quickly if your content becomes inconsistent or misaligned. So consistency now becomes more than just posting. It becomes maintaining your standard, your message, your value, even as you grow, even as you experiment, even as you evolve. And this is where long-term creators separate themselves, because they understand that growth is not just about gaining followers. It is about maintaining trust, maintaining relevance, maintaining quality over time. Now let's talk about mental endurance, because at this level, the pressure is different. It is not about starting anymore, it is about sustaining, about continuing to perform even when motivation drops, even when results fluctuate, even when the excitement of early growth fades. And this is where many creators slow down. But those who succeed build routines, systems, habits that allow them to continue even when they don't feel like it. And this consistency creates stability, and stability protects growth. Now everything starts to feel more complex, more layered, because growth is no longer just a simple process. It is a balance between expansion and protection, between creativity and control, between consistency and evolution. And when you learn to manage this balance, your account becomes stronger, more stable, more resilient to changes, more capable of sustaining long-term growth. Because the truth at this level is clear, growing is one challenge, but staying relevant is another, and only those who understand both can continue moving forward without losing momentum. And in the next part, we will move deeper into advanced authority building, influence expansion, and how to position yourself in a way that not only grows your account, but also builds something that lasts far beyond temporary trends and short-term visibility.